Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is November 26th, 2020, and this is episode 141. Today we're going to take a look at Superior Spider-Man number 1, actually 1 through 12. I have all 12 issues here. I'm not going to be pulling them out, but I'm just going to kind of do a total review on it. Apparently that's how long this particular run went. Just want to say that pretty much when it started, I was collecting a lot of comics at that time. I started having eye problems just about exactly about that same time where I almost lost vision in one of my eyes and had a lot of problems, a lot of operations and whatnot. But I did struggle and get through these. I'm ready to sell them back to the comic book store. And this, if you do come across this in trade, I would suggest that you don't buy it. I don't think it's a good comic. I don't think the series was good. Uh, it got old. And basic premise about it is Spider-Man, his abilities and his drive have been swapped into Doc Ock's body, or Dr. Octavius. And so physically he looks like Dr. Octavius, but when he suits up now, he is a enhanced Spider-Man, more with greater knowledge and smarts and everything else. But he just comes off as annoying throughout this whole comic, or throughout the whole series, and the choices he makes are just odd, and he always kind of acts like he's Mr. Rational in this. There is a good here we go. We start off. This is a Stan Lee memorial issue. I don't think I've kept any of them so far. We saw the one with Chadwick Boseman pretty recently. This one was with Stan. I guess he passed away in 2018. This actually came out like in January 2019. So he might have came out died in December or November of 2018. So we get the memorial pages. Not a whole lot to say about that. And then you turn it, get another black page, and then we get a profile of, a portrait, I should say, of Mr. Lee. And of course, we all miss him. He was a great ambassador to the comics, and all the contributions throughout the years, especially really firing up Marvel in the early 60s there. So we get a little brief summary here, which is always nice and appreciated. And I just want to mention that the writer on here is Christopher Cage, which I don't recognize him from anything. The artist was Mike Hawthorne, and they had a couple inkers on here as well, or excuse me, just one inker. Looks like Wade Vaughn, something. But what's interesting is the colorist is Jordi Belair, and I recently reviewed something by her, and I can't think of what it was, but I don't think I gave it a good review. I'm just drawing a blank on what the heck it was. But yeah, so she was a colorist on this, and she actually wrote the other comic that we're talking about. So I guess she got a chance to write something. Anyway, as you can tell, it's taking place in San Francisco. And the art in this is kind of uneven, if at best. I don't really care for it. It's capable enough, but there are just some weird things about it. The way, the sharpness of things, the lines, look at that eyebrow, it's just boom. And sometimes heads look a little bit misshapen as well. What's good about the comic, what I'll give its kudos to, you get a huge varieties of villains in it, not just one or two. So you look at his face, his head is just misshapen, and you see that over and over again throughout this whole thing. So it's got kind of no neckish, and his relationships with the people in here, they just get annoying after a while because he's always so much better than them, and then all of a sudden he has to apologize because he's got that little bit of Peter Parker in him that knows he's gone too far. So he backs off and apologizes. So here we see this, I guess, was in his younger years when he was dating this woman, and now she looks like this, but she's just kind of this smaller person. And it's kind of flashbacks and whatnot. And then we get him. He comes in. I guess he's got a group that he has hired to help him fight off the criminals. He's got Gravedigger and I forget what she's called, but she's able to do hypnotic charms on villains and whatnot. And she's got them all organized here, and they march off to the police station to be arrested. Or, as she says, she can send them off the side of a building if she'd rather Spider-Man had do that. Well, Spider-Man, or Doc Ock, suddenly falls in love with someone that's 20 years his elder, or becomes interested. I don't know, he falls in love. And his old love also pops in. It's just this weird relationship that goes on that's always underpinning this, underpinned this whole series throughout. And at one point, a little boy gets involved as well. Say we're about to take on a new menace here. So you can see there's a lot of different challenges for him. It just doesn't seem like it is that interesting. And it's like this issue after issue after issue. It doesn't seem to really go anywhere. So it is a not recommend for me. I can't even remember how the 12th issue ended. It's very forgettable. And it's just hard to read. Just because it's just the character's just not that likable. It's not our Peter Parker that we're used to. So anyway, this was a very short review. I'll flash through some of the other books real quick, so you can get a good look at them to prove that I did buy them as well. There's issue 2. Here's issue 3. Here's 4. War of the Realms. Boy, that was... I don't think that was very popular. Issue 5. Sorry about the loud noise on that one. Issue 6. The Doctor Strange, I guess, makes an appearance. You know, looks like Tony Stark, though. Amazingly enough. And we have a new artist on this one. It's Medina, touting the War of the Realms again. Issue 8. Little palm tree action. Maybe goes down to LA in that. I don't recall. He's back in San Francisco. There's a Transamerica building in the background. We love SSM. Yay, SSM. 10, 2 more to go. We got Harry Osborn, or Norman Osborn. I'm not sure which Osborn it is. But Mike Hawthorne's back on, artist in this one. And Jordi Belair is still doing the colors. And finally, the conclusion to this. So, that's what we got. That is Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man #1. Thanks for stopping by. As always, please subscribe, please like. I know this is kind of a blast from the past, but I'm about to send them off. I thought I'd give it a quick run through so you could take a look at it. Please like, please subscribe, please leave comments. And as always, this is Indie Comics Jones from the Temple of Tomes, bidding you adieu.